Let's start afresh, shall we? Have you had a challenging past? Are you struggling with what this year has brung? Well, now's the time to start afresh. Let's refocus. Let's shake off all the worries, the anxieties. Let's try and really focus how we're going to make this year, this new year, work for us. I know I, for one, I'm going through a rebrand in my business and in my life, but most of all, reframing my mind, because my mind is one that resorts to, when things are tough, it resorts to a kind of self-harming, lack of self-care mindset, which is why I talk so much about planning in self-care, because that's how we take our power back when we don't feel like we've got much control of what's going on. But the good news is we can all rebrand our lives and reframe our minds. It's something that I'm really passionate about. I talk about at the Sparkle Coach, but also in my own life. That's why I always use the phrase perfectly imperfect, because I have been on a massive journey, not just in my life, but even in this past 18 months. It has been one of the most challenging times. I've made mistakes, I've had successes, and I've had many more failures. But as I always say, failures are stepping stones to success. And success, when we think of success, we always think of something huge, like, earning millions of pounds, and these huge, we're going to look like this, we're going to do this, and all these kind of outcome goals, these like long-term vague wishes and dreams. And I'm not saying you can't achieve anything you put your mind to, but it's much more important to keep our minds healthy, to focus on mini wins, those process goals, so those daily wins. Okay, so today I'm going to make sure I go on a walk after I eat my food, or I'm going to eat more mindfully. I've just been talking on my Recovery Road podcast all about that. You can download that from Apple, Spotify, and all good podcast stores. And again, simple steps to being more intuitive and mindful about what we do, and those small steps are really, really important. It is just so phenomenal the power our minds have over our lives. And I know I've been berating myself a lot recently when I've been going through challenges and stress and almost that fear of showing up, because I'm kind of like, well, can I talk about mental health when I really struggle some days with my mental health problems? And it is hard to see that the wave will pass when I'm in the midst of really bad depression. But that's where, because I've set myself these mini goals each day that I just do no matter what, eventually that wave always passes, and things that feel impossible start to feel possible again. Even like curling your hair, having a bath, simple things. And it's those simple daily wins, whether that be because you want to get fitter in your body, that you're committing to 3 workouts a week. But again, if we don't do that, it's not then beating ourselves up and then doing nothing, just thinking, well, anything is better than nothing. So how do I take control of this situation? How do I just go on a gentle walk? Or I just move? And I think we always try and think of these huge, almost impossible feeling goals, and actually when we're breaking it down into daily wins, sometimes it's just getting out of bed in the morning. I know that's hard for me, especially when I'm going through a bad episode. All those little things, and accepting that we have made mistakes and we are going to make mistakes, because we are human and we are perfectly imperfect. But it's allowing yourself to do that, but also learning. And I think for me, success really is starting to discover what my values are, where I want to go, and live a congruent life. That's where we're living to fulfill our values, and we're not living in unalignment from our values. We're actually really thinking about our core values. Why do we do what we do? And are we feeling good when we do it in terms of our holistic health, not just instant quick hits? Something that I enjoy, don't get me wrong. I'm a quick hit person because I like quick wins. But actually it's looking at the long term, and it's looking at our mental health and our mood. So I'd love to know what you're planning for this year in terms of reframing your mind, and rebranding your life. I know I'm going through a massive rebrand because I just want to start afresh, and I always love the idea of the whole Japanese broken pot is seen as much more valuable when it's filled with gold and put back together again. And I love that analogy, but now I want to go one step further, because what I want is to not just be kind of an old tree that's been fixed. I now want to start afresh. I want to be a new shoot. So whilst in many ways I still have many vulnerabilities and many areas where I struggle in terms of my own health and well-being, but I want to focus on being that new shoot this year, rather than just a kind of old tree that's been revamped and has this broken history and broken past. I want to focus on being a new shoot and that new life. And that's what I'm really going to focus on, and accepting that that was the past, and now I'm allowing myself to live this new life fulfilled with values. So I love the analogy of thinking about that new shoot. It's not just thinking about kind of putting together our broken past and trying to make the best of it. Yeah, we can sparkle and we can learn from it and we can share our story, but it's about focusing on the future and actually allowing us all and allowing others to have that new fresh start, something that we need more now than ever. So as I mentioned, my Recovery Road podcast is all on mental well-being and recovery, but mental health is a huge spectrum. So we look at food, we look at exercise, we look at working when you've got mental health problems, whatever it is. And today on the show, I had the Nutri Coach Mama talking about intuitive eating, and I was talking about chocolate meditation and mindfulness. I've got a vlog coming on that soon, so make sure you subscribe. And chocolate meditation if you like your chocolate. We also had the content planning wizard Amy Downs on the show, talking about being honest about being a working mum and what you eat, and how it's a kind of form of self-care, but also it's not helpful to beat ourselves up or be beaten up by others, metaphorically or physically, obviously. It's about actually feeling like, okay, so it's those small changes, those small habits we can make, and allowing ourselves those treats. And then also my friend Cheryl Wynn, who's a birthing doula, and again she opened my eyes to how much food and mood impacts women at all stages, and men, but because she focuses on mothering and birthing, actually about like healing our soul. And I've been doing so much on food, our gut and our mental health as well. And I'm all about challenging our thoughts and just building in those small habits, because I know from someone who has had a challenging past, and I have a challenging relationship with many things, and one of my self-harm was my eating disorder, which is a mental disorder. And again, it's looking into the new year, a fresh start, not to then berate myself. It's actually to be kinder on myself, and that will actually impact the way I eat, the way I sleep, the way I think. There are so many repercussions of feeling better in that sense. So I'm sending you all so much peace, so much love, and so many shimmies. You can also follow me at The Sparkle Coach, or you join my free health club, Squats and Sparkles Women's Health Club on Facebook. Thanks so much as ever for joining. Bye.